I began my educational career, I knew I wanted to assist people with mental disorders. I thought that I wanted to be a psychologist. I dreamt of being brilliant, of mastering the art of brain science, saying witty things that make perfect sense but no one else had ever said, like James and Freud and Jung. In my bachelor's, I took psychology classes with a huge mission in mind to learn how to fix the brain. Little did I know I was looking through a very small window, thinking that to cure the brain cured the person, and that all their problems would melt away. These classes taught me that there is complicated phenomena that occurs and cannot be explained, like consciousness and how much our personality is determined by the brain itself. I asked a professor at that time, "So, how much of our personality is determined by the brain?" She didn't exactly answer me, but recommended that I take community psychology. In community psychology, I learned personalities likely evolve from a person's social interactions, meaning personalities are usually developed from how and what we choose to communicate and how we choose to interact in any given relationship at any given time. The environments in which you are raised, the family or lack thereof, and many, many other intertwined components and circumstances also affect personality. Personalities are ever changing. The more we interact, experience, and learn, the more we transform. In community psychology, I learned about social workers, and I transformed. I learned that these people who call themselves social workers care about communities, care about the whole person, and not just the brain, and I became intrigued. Sitting in a luncheon with the president of the college right before graduation, we psychology students were asked where we were going from here. A few of the people said to get a job, a few people said to advance in psychology at Georgia State University, and I jumped up and said to become a social worker. I got silent stares, and I wasn't sure why I blurted that out at the time. I just knew that after what I had discovered about social workers, that I didn't want to help only the person's brain anymore. I wanted to help the whole person. The thought of becoming a social worker stuck with me, and I knew I was in for a change, and I was paving my way toward a new path. A couple weeks later, I researched Savannah State University's social work program and realized that that is where I belonged. When I first came to Savannah State, I was naive. I didn't even fully understand what social workers do, but I was definitely about to find out. I went to the Georgia State Capitol to learn about advocacy. I volunteered at the VA stand down to support the homeless and homeless veterans. I collected materials to send globally to children in need. I worked with classmates to present cultural competence and in groups to present crisis interventions, organizational facilitation and service delivery, and grant writing. I performed and presented research for evidence based practice. I went to internships, I attended class lectures, studied, wrote papers, and several times I didn't think I was going to make it. But with the guidance of my professors, inspiration from a dedicated and admired leader, family, and friends, I did it. Thanks to Dr. Tuggle and my internship mentors, I was provided an evidence based practice perspective, supportive supervision, and I learned professionalism in the workplace. Thanks to Dr. Anderson, I learned that mental disorders can stem from more than just biological factors. I learned disorders can be caused by environmental factors such as dysfunctional families and living in poverty, and also by psychological factors such as trauma, abuse, and neglect. Thanks to Dr. Gendani, I learned how to test and measure my personal practice effectiveness, how to admit and claim my biases for ethical client service delivery and dedication in caring for clients. Dr. Gendani is one of the most dedicated social workers I've had the privilege to know. Thanks to Dr. Deloach, I have learned holistic integrated healthcare, neuroscience, and social work practice and commitment. Dr. Deloach shared with us her deep commitment for her students that I will be forever grateful for. Of course, I was instructed in so much more than I can mention here. My experience at Savannah State University has been remarkable and has changed me in so many ways. I now look forward to working with clients and helping them to develop their own lives in positive ways. So, as soon as I begin my incredible journey as a social worker, I will always remember what all these people have done for me. I will always remain humble, and I will always remain tiger strong.